So we're going to talk about the Microsoft Flow with Microsoft Graph API. How many of you have used Microsoft Flow? Cool. And how many of you have been using Microsoft Graph API? A lot. And how many used them together? 1, 2, OK. So we looked Microsoft Flow individually, and we looked Microsoft Graph individually. We're going to combine that capability and see what we can do in the next 60 minutes. And I hope everybody was here in the Microsoft Graph session, and they know the basics of Microsoft Graph. And assuming everybody is a developer, I will go ahead and talk about what we can do. So my name is Ashish. I'm a Microsoft MVP. And you can reach me on Twitter if you have any other follow-up question, if you can't catch me up here. I will be talking about what the Microsoft Flow is in very basic terms, 2 minutes. Then I will be talking about what Microsoft Graph is in 2 minutes again. I will focus more on the why, how, and where part. We will see as why shall we integrate both of these capabilities. One is a no-code or a less code, while the other is an API, which is a full developer capability. How we shall use that, how we shall integrate that capability. And the most important thing is, where can I apply that capability together in business cases or business scenarios so that I can help business to run faster, better. And I'm going to keep jumping in the demos here and there. So, but there is a big demo in the end, which I will talk about as what's the best option is. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in between or keep it in the end as you like. Now, let's talk about Microsoft Flow very quickly. So Microsoft Flow basically was started for non-developers. It was primarily around the personal productivity as how you use it, how you automate your things. And then it has gone into the business processes. The idea is to start your collaboration between your peers and look upon the notifications as you can use the flow. You can look upon your citizen development area as how you build your business applications with PowerApps and Flow. Then you can integrate applications and systems using Flow because it has, like, if I remember correctly, there are 225 connectors, SaaS connectors available. So you can integrate a lot of systems without writing code. And not the least, the personal productivity. So you can automate a lot of personal productivity side things. Right now, like what I use generally for myself is Twitter. So I read a lot of feeds using the Flow and push it to the Twitter. So I can see what's update happening in this. And it's very big Microsoft 365 word. So the list is not ending here, and I believe it will not end here. Currently, we have approximately 225 connectors, and you can integrate them straight away. There are various licensing model in the connector as how you can use in the basic Premium 1, Premium 2. So you have to look upon as what license model you have before you use the connector. And very simple structure as how you create Flow is about you start the flow on a trigger, and then you add actions, you can add conditions, you can define logical conditioning and branching as well. So in simple terms, that's the flow. Microsoft Graph, in summary, OK, so they're saying giraffe. A graph, it's pretty much the same. It's just the terminology. On the Microsoft Graph side, the idea is to build that tailored customer experience using the API, which customer will love. So we're going to focus as how we are building those tailored solutions using Graph API. There are a lot of scenarios in the Graph API where you can use them. So it covers Windows 10, EMS, and Office 365. You can go ahead and look upon the REST API and webhooks. Then you can consume them the way you want. So there are a lot of options to consume things. Oh, it's very small. So you can use in the webs, bots, devices, the automated applications, workflows. Then you can look upon a lot of canvases where you can extend them, things like Windows Timeline and portals. And Microsoft Graph provides Data Connect. There is a session altogether on the Data Connect. It's about connecting the graph in a SQL and analyzing it, doing a lot of analytics. So that's where the analytics side of the graph comes up. And your data can also go into the cloud. Our focus is on the Microsoft Graph API. In this, I'm not going to talk a lot on these applications. Now, as the graph sits across the structure, so these are the capabilities which you can use from graph, whether it's your API, your program, or in the Microsoft Flow, which we're going to see. Sorry if I'm moving very fast and taking time to the picture. You will get the slides afterwards, so you can take them straight away. If I categorize the Microsoft Graph API as how you can use them, there are 4 categories. One is a web apps, device native applications. The other one is bots, agents in the teams. The focus areas for us is the background processes, the business processes as how you automate the things. And the last one is analytics, which is the new thing in the graph. We're going to focus on the automatic processes as how we create business solutions using Graph API. I'm going to talk about very specifically 2 scenarios. I'm going to talk about Microsoft Teams governance model and a user onboarding and management systems. I hope everybody is using Microsoft Teams as well. And has anybody not used Microsoft Teams so far? Okay, 1 or 2. But if you look upon the Microsoft Teams, challenge at this moment for many corporations is as who can create team, who can manage team, and how you define that process. And there are a lot of ISV and third-party solutions, but as a developer, how you can help your organization if you have not purchased those tools. And we're going to use mostly the app-only policy token so that we are processing the information in an automatic manner. We don't require user consents. We're going to see as how we create the objects like new user, new teams, and the channels in that. Now, let me talk about as how it brings together. So we're going to look upon the extensibility of the Microsoft Flow using connectors or using the HTTP post methods, and we're going to call the Graph API. Microsoft Graph API has the information, intelligence, and the insights from Microsoft 365 Word. So we can access any information in the Microsoft Flow. If I say how you start building these 2 capabilities together is 4 steps. And when I remember these 4 steps, I remember them in like my kids dance class. They tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So very simply, you can map them back. So first, we're going to create Azure AD App. Then we're going to set some permissions for the Graph API. Then we're going to look upon the REST endpoints which we need. There are tons of REST endpoints in the Graph API, so you have to find out, do you need GET, do you need POST, what's the endpoint, what's the parameters required for that. Then we're going to start extending Flow to consume that information. So before I jump into the further demos, let me go and do the step 1 and 2 here. So I will switch back to the demo machine. Okay. So this is the Azure AD. Let me zoom it in here. And what you have to do is go to the new application registration process here, which is simple and very simplified now. It's not that complex as it used to be. So I'm going to do ms build live demo app reg. The next 3 points which are here is about as where you would like to enable this application available. So is it just your corporate within the domain, or is it any organization directory? So basically, it's a multi-tenant application. So you can choose whether you would like to push this connector or flow outside in the template space, or you just like to keep it internally as a business process. I will leave the redirect URL here, or I can define localhost, because right now it's going to be automatic process running in the Microsoft Flow, so it will not require any redirect URL back. But if you are doing any web application registration or anything, you will need that up. So my application is registered. So now if I use this application ID in any place, it will know that there is something registered in the Azure AD and it's trusted. But how it will authenticate and start using it, I will need the API permissions. So by default, as soon as you register any application, it will know that who is going to access it. So it needs the user read permission in a delegate main. So as you know, there are two types of permissions in Microsoft Graph. One is delegate, where user can give a consent or admin can give a consent on the behalf of organization. And there is an admin consent, which is where you will define more automatic processes where you don't need any user interaction in that process. So I'm going to go and give Microsoft Graph. And I'm going to give more admin permissions because I'm going to run in Flow. So I will not need any user information or any consent. I will do an admin consent. Now I can define the permissions. So as I am talking about user, so I will need user read write. And if I'm talking about the teams or groups, I will need groups read write. Once I am done with that, I will do an add permission. And you will see when the permissions are added, you will see there is a consent error or warning sort of a thing, which says that if you're using admin consent for this application, you should go and give a consent to this application so that end users can use it. If you don't give an admin consent in here, any user who is trying to use this application will not be able to access it. It will say access denied in the application itself because admin has not consented this application in the organization. So how you do that? You don't have to guess the URLs anymore. You have a grant admin consent, so you will straight away do a yes, and it will tick all the boxes. Previously, you have to guess the URL, create the application ID, and then hit it up, and then give yes or no on that. Now, if you see all the boxes are ticked here, now I can start leveraging this application in my flow. Before that, I will need a secret as well because I need a username password scenario. So I can create a secret, 1 year, and I will say MS build 2019 secret. So it will be valid till the next build, hopefully. Then I can copy this secret here, which is here, and then start using it. So let me zoom it out so that I can copy easily. I'll just put it on a notepad. And I'm going to just take the application ID as well. Cool. So it's very simple. So you look upon the Azure AD, you add the graph permissions. Now you are pretty much half set over here as my application is registered, trusted in the Azure AD. Now I have to start looking in the flow as how I can start working on it. Now I'm going to quickly switch back to the presentation. This is where I will keep jumping a bit. The first option is it's not very good option, it's okay. So as you know, whenever you start using the Microsoft Graph, the first thing is you need an access token from the Azure AD so that you can call the Graph API. Now I'm going to keep the same way in the Microsoft Flow. So I will create a HTTP request for login. I will get an access token in the JSON back. I will take that access token and then I will call the Graph API in the HTTP method again. Now this sounds okay, but this is where you have to do a lot of steps, read the token, pass the token, call again. The other option is in the same HTTP option, you have call as authentication directly with the Azure AD. Now in that case, you don't have to get the access token. It will generate automatically and it will pass in the call itself. So you will directly authenticate against the Graph API. This is a little better option, but it's still not the best. Let me show you both the options and how they look like, and you will see when we look at the best option, why that's the best option. So let me show you quickly on both the options. Now we have that. Now I'm going to jump here into my flow. This is not a very complex flow. I will just decompose the flow as how I have done. So first thing is like how you would like to trigger the flow. So right now I will keep it manually because I would like to just read this stuff. The second thing is about setting the client ID. So client ID, client secret, you will need that because you're gonna run this application as in an app-only mode. The next is the tenant ID, because as we know that every tenant has its own ID which is unique to it, and you have to know where you are firing the query against with. Because in a multi-tenant scenario, the tenant ID is not required. You go against with a common tenant ID in the URL. So I have set all the values, tenant, client ID, client secret, and tenant ID. So all of them are there. The next is about to get the authentication token. So if you look upon this here, I'm trying to log into the, let me zoom it in also if that makes more easy. Yeah. So if you look upon here, I'm first trying to call the Microsoft Online Azure AD call basically, and then I'm passing all the authentication pieces which I need. So, and what will happen as at the end of the resource, it will give me an access token which I can use to call the Graph API. Now, when I do this, I will get a JSON back, and I have to do the parsing of the JSON. And you have to be a little tricky in the flow. This is more towards the flow discussion, but I will not go deeper. How you create this JSON schema, you have to find out sometimes there are null values, sometimes not. So you get that JSON schema, and then once you get the access token, you're gonna again go and do the HTTP call. Now this time if you see, my URL is graph.microsoft.com rather than the login.microsoftonline.com. So I got the access token as process goes on, and then I will pass that in the authentication header. Yeah, here. So I will pass it, and then I can get this working. If you look upon here, we have how many steps? If I zoom it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. But if I go towards a little better option, I still have 5 steps. So I reduced 2 steps here by using the Microsoft call and parsing the JSON. I have the same client ID, client secret, and tenant ID. And then if you look upon here, I'm calling directly to the graph URL, but I'm not passing any access token. What's the magic in the advanced option, the authentication here? So it says Azure AD OAuth. So it will straight away do the authentication with the Azure AD, and you have that authority URL here, and it will automatically get the access token and then use that to call the Graph API. So you reduced some steps. Now, there are very simple things here. If you want, we can run this program, but not really a better option, so we will see how we do the better option. Now, coming to the best option, now if you see here, we have tried setting up the client ID, client secret, tenant ID every time, and then doing the call to the Graph API in every HTTP call. That doesn't look good because we are repeating the things. We should create some reusable content. The next option which we have is about the connectors. Has anybody used Microsoft Flow connectors in the past? Okay, few of them. So what Microsoft Flow connector allows us to create any custom connector which can call any API, either my API or Microsoft Graph API, and I can reuse that client ID and client secret in the connection. So it's like the built-in connector, and I have to just pass the different parameters to the call. Now, before I jump and show more, I will go and talk about few scenarios which we were talking, the user profile management and the team's governance. Now, let me jump back and go through the demo as how we can use these Graph API with the Microsoft Flow to manage the users and the teams. So I have kept it very simple. So whenever you need the business processes, you need SharePoint. This is very quick, but if you don't like SharePoint, that's okay. We understand that. As a developer, you can also invoke the same thing using Logic Apps. And Microsoft Flow also is like a HTTP endpoint. So you can call Microsoft Flow itself from your application as a HTTP end call. So you can always extend the things. You can also call the same flow using the Azure functions. So there are a lot of options as how you build your business application and how you would like to reuse them. Now here I have a new user request, and whenever I create a request, it goes through the Microsoft Flow, and Microsoft Flow creates the user. Now, let's look at the Microsoft Flow before I kick off the process. No, this is the one, yeah, sorry. Okay, no. Yeah, this is the one. So whenever there's a new item created in SharePoint, I will just go and get the user UPN, user principal name, which is required for the login and for other, it's a unique ID for the user in the Office 365 world. And what I've done is created a UPN with my domain name, and then I do a graph, sorry, let me bring that up. I do a graph call to post and create this user. So as you see here, I have defined some of those parameters from the SharePoint list, and then whenever I do a call, it goes and creates the new user in the system. So let me see if I can run this system here. So this is the system runs history. So it has been running successfully. Just refresh it up. And I will just save it up here. So it should trigger the flow here in the back end, and it should go and create the users. So it has done successfully. Now, if I go to my users list in the Azure AD, and if I refresh this list here, still provisioning. Yep, I got the build demo user. Now, a lot of time what happens when the user is onboarding in the organization, you get only the few information pieces about the user, first name, last name, display name. A lot of time you might miss phone number and other details while creating the AD user. Now what happens in that case, when you miss those attributes, managers, phone numbers, they are very critical for a lot of business application scenarios and for getting the most out of it in the Office 365 world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this user into a different list where I maintain that information as who is onboarding, and then I will ask user to go and update this SharePoint list, because user cannot go and update the AD, and I don't want every user going in and changing things in AD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the data in this list. Now what I have done is I have created where is the read thing? Yeah, this is the read thing. So I have set schedule. So as you know that you can set it up to run daily basis or weekly basis. And I go through the process, and then I get all the users here. Now there is a difference between the V1 endpoint and beta endpoints. If you see, I'm using beta endpoint because it has a lot of endpoints information. And I just go and do the user creation if it is not available in the system. I'm just going to run this up here now. So it will go and read all the users in the AD and see if there is a user available. Then it will go and update the user in the list. If not, it will go and add the user in the list. So if you see here, I'm just using the get Microsoft call to the users, and it has been successful. I can read all the data coming from the users. So if I go back to the list, the user details are here for the build demo. Now if I update the details here, so let's say I will update the job title as consultant, and I will update the city to be Seattle, and I will update the mobile number +1 400 200 3000. I'm just keeping dummy values, they are not real. And as soon as I do that, my next function, which is here, to read and update the information, it will go and update the user details. So let's see if it has been successful on this instance. So it has done a update. So let me refresh this page where we have the build demo user. It's still fetching up. If it is a recent run. Okay, there has been a recent run. So it should update the information back. Interesting. Okay. It's taking time to update When you create Microsoft Flow with the SharePoint list, it has a dependency and a delay process. But it goes back and updates the information. I can show you some of the previous updates. So it goes back and updates the information whenever you pass it on. So this is very easy to build an application in SharePoint and use the Microsoft Flow with the Graph API. Microsoft Graph API has all the endpoints. Now let me see the Teams thing. Now Teams is getting very popular and very tricky scenario as how you provision. Microsoft Graph is the only way to provision Teams. Even if you use PowerShell, which is the Teams PowerShell, uses Graph API behind the scene to provision Teams. Now in the Teams, you have options available, like you can create teams from templates. There are a standard team template for different industries, and then you have your custom templates for the organization. Now it's very tricky to write a program and support all these structuring and options. Now what I have done is I have created a simple list which has standard templates in it. Now if I go and request a new team using a standard template, you can have a team using the retail or education. Let me zoom it in here. So there are more options. You can work on that. I will just keep a standard team. And when I request that option, there is a flow running up here. Yeah. There's so many flows. Sorry about that. Yeah. So what I have done here, I have used the better option to initialize the client ID, client secret here, and then using the switch statements, I am creating the teams. And what I'm doing here, if you look upon in the post call, there is a new endpoint in the Microsoft Graph API, which creates the beta/teams, and then this is the body in the call. So if you look upon, there is something called as a standard team, and it's a template which just creates a team and a general channel in it and nothing else. So you can use as an approach to do this. Now if I look upon, I should have that here. So this is done. So this is just a very basic structure of the teams. The next is about getting more complexity. Now, if I would like to customize this template, I have to write JSON, or I have to write some sequential steps. So let's try creating an organization template for using JSON. So if I pull it up here, now this is, I will zoom it in as well. So this is a template structure as how the Microsoft Teams can be defined in Microsoft Graph call. So there's a template binding. So I'm just inheriting the standard template and then just creating it with my name and details. The important thing to know here is the owner data binding. So if you are using an application which is doing the Teams creation, but is a delegate permission, you don't need that owner binding over there, because by default, it will take the user who is creating the team as an owner. But if you're running in an application permissions, you need to pass that owner data binding so that it can set this user as the owner of the teams which is getting created. So you can dynamically get this user details, or you can pass a very specific admin ID, and it will do that. This is very structured, simple thing. The other thing is very complex here. Now, if you see here, I have the first section is pretty much the same. So I'm using a standard team template, having an owner over there. But what I have here is the channels. I have announcement channel, then training channel, and then in the training channel, if you see, I have tabs as well. So if you see, there is a tabs structure. Let me zoom out a little bit so that we can see. So tabs are currently pointing to the website. So you can have these tabs as an application also. Now, in the next one, if you look upon here, further down, you have all the settings information here itself. So other channels, then your member settings. So how you would like to create it private, public, you would like them to come and join the teams. Any guest users can be created. The fun settings is more around the moderation and use of Jiffy, and the other messaging and installed apps. So if you look upon here, I'm using the Microsoft Teams VSTS and a Poly app. So you can install custom apps as well using this JSON. Now this is a template. Now I can create more templates like this, and I can put them up in the SharePoint library. So, so this is like a JSON file uploaded in a library. And then I can go and create a SharePoint list again, and I will just request here. And then I can list them as a template. So I will just use the project team because it has VSTS and issues and debugs and announcements so that I can work with my colleagues. And I will set this as a owner admin. And then I will just do a save. Now, as soon as I do that, if I go to my flow, yeah. So again, setting up the variables for the tenant ID, client ID, client password. And what I have done here is, because we need a JSON which will come from the SharePoint library based on the template, I have just created a variable to read the JSON structure. Now, based on the template which I have selected in the dropdown, I will go either in the yes condition or in the no condition. You can also have the switch condition in the flow if you have more than one templates. Now, I will go and get the JSON file. So it's going to read the JSON file content, which is JSON. And then I will update the JSON variable. And in the HTTP call, if you look upon here, I have passed that JSON file in as a body. So now, when I run that process, it will go and create the same team structure directly into my teams. I hope it is ready here. So if you see here, I got this sample build standard engineering. And as I said, there is a Poly app and there is a VSTS app installed already in it. And there are other channels as well. So this defines as how you can create your teams. Now, as you see here, there is a JSON defined. But sometimes you need maybe more granularity, maybe more structured approaches how you create the things. Now what you can do is you can use the connector with the flow then, and you can use the batch process. Has anybody seen or used the batch process in the Microsoft Graph API? Okay, so there is a batch process in the Microsoft Graph API where you can call 20 endpoints at one time. And what happens in that, you don't call them one by one, they go in the sequence. But you can define dependency. So if you are reading a user detail and then you would like to process something, you can define there is a dependency. And also you can define a sequence as well as a 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you how that happens with the Microsoft Flow and the Graph API. Now, again, the very first thing is that you go and set up the app, and then you go and get the information for using the Graph API. Now, let me bring that up here, and I will do it step by step. Now, I'm going to do MS build flow connector, and I'm just going to keep anything. I will need web here because this is a connector which will be authenticating against the Graph API. I will not know the URL here because it will come from my Azure AD. So I will keep it blank, but I have to update this URL. I will just go register this app. Then I'm going to jump into the secrets. I'm going to create a new client secret. Done. I will copy this. I have the process done, so I will just keep it going. Then the next piece is about the authentication, but we will update that when we know the URL. I'm going to add the permissions here. Now, since I would like the user to run this, I will go and use the delegate permission. But in that case, I will go and use admin to consent on behalf of the organization. I will go and do a delegate, and I'm going to do a group because I'm going to create the teams again and the groups again. I don't need anything else. I will add the permission. I will do a, oh, no, not here. Sorry, they are delegate. I will do that later. Now, I forgot to copy the secret. Sorry about that. I need the secret, so I will create it again. Just delete this secret here. will just go and copy the application ID as well here. Now application registration is done. What I need is the connector now. So I will jump into the Microsoft Flow, and then if you look upon here, you can start from blank if you really don't know. But to start for the batch process, it's very simple. So I have a API file already with me, which I'm going to show you as what it looks like. And when I import it, what the structure looks like. So if I jump up here, so this is the Swagger file which the connector generates after you create and save it. So what I have done, I created and saved it as a local copy, so I can reuse it again and again. Now if you look upon here, it has a title of the connector, the version, and then where it's trying to connect. And there is a slash, so you have to give this slash for sure. And then you define that what's the process information, and then what's the login information. Now, the rest of the authentication piece we will define as we create the connector. So I'm going to go and import this file, and I'm going to go give a name, and then I'm going to go import this file from my build demos and msgraph batch connector. Now it reads very quickly that information and creates me. So if you look upon it, it's not that complex. The first thing is the HTTP is on the graph.microsoft.com, and you have to give the trailing slash as a in the end. If you don't give that, it will not work. And then the next piece is the security. Now if you see here, it's using OAuth token against Azure AD. So I will now give my client ID and client secret, which I created. So I'm going to copy my client ID into the client ID, and then client secret into the client secret. And then my login is the login.windows.net. Then the tenant is common because I can use this connector from any other Active Directory as well, or the flow. So I can export this connector, give it to anyone. They can just go and quickly update this information and start using. If I give my tenant ID very specifically here, I cannot reuse. I have to replace that tenant ID every time. Now for us, the resource URL, graph. So we're going to hit the graph. Yeah. And then I will keep the scope as blank. And since I don't know where this will go and create the connector in my Azure AD, because every Azure AD URL is different based on the Azure data center, I will keep it as it is, and I will click on Create Connector. Come on, come on. I have a different Wi-Fi, so it should be fast. Great. So we got the connector here. And now if you see this redirect URL, it will always be different in your domain. So right now, because I am in the Asia Pacific Australia data center, it is going to APIM. If you are in the North America, it will show NA. But you have to make sure that this URL is correct for you. And you, after creating the connector, you copy this URL and go back to your app. And now if you look upon the authentication, you had that redirect URL blank here. Now I will update this URL, because what happens when I authenticate with the connector in the flow, it will go back and authenticate me from this URL to the flow back. I will just save it down here. Now it's updated. Now if I go back to the connector and do a test, I have to add the connection. Basically, I'm consenting as an admin here. And when I do that, you will see there is a checkbox here now, because it's a delegate permission, so I can consent on behalf of my organization. So the end users will not get this login. And I will do accept. And if it is successful, you will get a date and time. And then you have to just update the connector back here. Date updated, okay. Now my connector is ready. I have defined my client ID, secret, and with all the permissions and app ID. Now the next thing is about using it. Now, if you look upon in the definition here, I don't have any endpoint defined in this, like /me or /teams or anything. What I have here is the batch operation. So if you look upon here, there's a beta/batch. Now, what it does is going and creating multiple REST endpoints in one go, and you can call multiple points together and get the data back. I will show you an example in the Graph Explorer as how it works. So if I go to the Graph Explorer, and then I will just pull out the sample first, and then I will show you what it looks like. So if you go here, there is a batching option. Now, if you see here, they are perform parallel gets or do the combine of a get and post. So you can do the mix and match as you would like to do in the, right now I'm going to do a get URL. Now, if you see here in the request, it has get me details, the messages detail, and then the events detail. So if I have to do this in the application generally, I have to call 3 times. So rather than calling 3 times Graph API, I will call them straight in one time and get the data back. Only thing is I have to parse that JSON back, but it saves a lot of time in the call traversal. Now, when I hit this up, it gives you all the data back in this response. Now, this is very important. We can use also to do a get and post combination. If you look upon here, this is the post. The first one is a post. The second one is a get. So you can do that as well. Now what we will do, we will create a group, and then we will use that group to create a team, and then we will create channels in that using the batch. Now, if you see, the JSON has the structure, so it can take it up straight away. But if you would like to create more granular stuff or more other scenarios, like you will create the group, and then you will create the teams, and then you will create SharePoint site and all that, you can do everything in the batching once the group is ready. Now, let me show you that XML. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a group call, and then I'm going to pass the values in it where I have the replace, and it will go and create the group. Now, after this group is created, I'm going to go and create the team. Now, I need the group ID, which is created, to create a team against it. So I will pass the group ID in the place of replace, and then it will go. Now, after that, I need channels. Now, if I need channels, here, yeah, channels. Now, channels need the team ID where they have to be created. Here, I can have more than one channel, more than one team, and then I can pass all the values here. So as you see here, there are steps. Now, if you see here, there is a depends on condition. What it defines, as I said, there are 3 ways you can define this batching. So one is parallel. There is no dependency, and all the commands run in straight parallel mode. There is a serial dependency, so you will have a 1, 2, 3, 4 dependency continuously. So there will be first call, then second call, then third call, and Graph will handle that. You don't have to do anything in your program. The third is the same dependency. So if you look upon here, I have a group dependency for my teams, and then I have a teams dependency for my channels. So there is a sequence. I will follow that. Now in the team channels here, if I look upon, it depends on 1. And the first channel does not depend on anything. So it is just defining that sequence of dependency to be executed. Now let me start and work on it. Now, which is this one here? This one here, yeah. So now my connector is ready. Now I will go to my flows, and then I will go and create from blank. Now I'm going to just create manual creation. And since I need a team name or a group name against which I will create, I will just create a text box so that I can pass. Now the next one is about creating the group. Now if I look upon here, the connector name is, the MS batch connector. Now, as soon as you type, it appears like your built-in connector, like the other SaaS connectors are. And when you look upon it, it has a batch, and then you pass the body. Now, you don't have to pass the HTTP graph and client ID or anything, because it will go and use those things from the connector itself. So it saves a lot of time in doing that standard process. And if you look upon here, in this, it is using the relative URL from the graph. It does not require the full URL from the graph. So I'm going to just keep this and put it up here. And in the replace place, I'm just going to pick up the user group name. Okay, description, display name, and nickname. Now what it will do, let me zoom it in here, sorry. Zoom it here, yeah. So what it will do, it will take a name of the group from myself as a manual process. You can pass this group name from a process of SharePoint or from your program, and you can invoke the same workflow as well. You can do the same thing from a logic apps as well. You can call the same thing from Azure function. So it's about creating this as a one-time go, and then you can call from your application. Now it will go and create the group. So let me just call it up here, create group. So it's easy to remember what we are doing here. Now the next is about creating the teams. Now I will go, and since group takes a lot of time to create, then the team to create on that group does not take much time. So I have to add a delay here. Schedule delay, and I'm going to just keep it for a minute. Now next, then I'm going to just create ms batch, and I'm going to go and take up the teams. I'm just going to go and paste it up. Now these JSONs can also be stored in the SharePoint file, and you can read these JSONs as a SharePoint file and create that. So it's up like as how you define the dynamic nature. Now here, what I need is a group ID. A group ID is getting from this create group process. Now what I have to do is I have to read the output of the create group process and get the ID. Now what I have here is the quick option, which I know I will need that up. Where is that? Yeah. So if you look upon this option here, it says body of that step where the group will be created. From the responses, since we are creating only one group, we will take the 0, the first option. We will read the body and then the ID. So I'm just going to copy this up. Yes. And then if you look upon here, the expressions has that. Body of, and if I look upon, sorry, it should be able to pull it up from here. No, sorry, it's a bit tricky sometime. Where is the replace thing? I have to keep the cursor there, then go to the expression, body of, what we have is the create group. And then I'm just going to copy the rest and remove this thing. So what it will do, it will go and read the ID, and it should be here. Now it will go and create the team for me. Now once the team is created, I need to create the channels. So I'm going to again go and create that up here. Oh, not this one, sorry. Batch, and then I'm going to jump back to read my channels, which is the 5th number, and I'm going to pass. And again, I'm going to do the replace here with the teams ID, because I need to create these channels on the teams. There is a big thing here, the text thing. So I'm going to just do the body of. So this is the batch. just paste it. Oops. Sorry. Let me just take this from here so it's very quick. Responses. And I'm just going to insert. Now I can insert the same thing in all the places wherever we have the replace, and then I will go and save it up. Now whenever I will run this up, now it will go and create my teams and the groups. I will quickly show you the running thing here, which I have. Where is that? Sorry. Where did it go? Batch. Yeah, this is the here thing. Yeah. So this is my batch operations ready here. So I have to replace all the 3 places. Now if I run this up here, it's going to ask me the group name which I want. So build live demo, and I'm going to just run this process, and let's see what happens here. Now it will go through the process. I will just open up the teams here and see what happens there. Sorry, so many windows. Okay, I will close it. So why there is a delay? Because Microsoft Graph has all the operations as asynchronous. So right now, whenever you call, it doesn't complete the operation. There is a delay of 1 minute. We kept it for the safer time. You can also have a dependency to invoke the other workflow. So in the Microsoft Flow, you can call a different workflow which can do the job. So you can create a team and channel flow, and then you can invoke that flow from this group flow. So you will know that once this flow is completed, the next one will go. So that will be very easy to do the processing as well, and that helps to define that nested flow thing. Now 46, 51. So hopefully it will complete. Almost done there, and done, and it will go and create the team. Yeah, very quick, you see. So as soon as the group is created, creating the teams and channel does not take time. And when I look upon that, I got my team structure over here ready. So it has the marketing collateral, video vendor contract, and the general client contract. So as you see here, in the process of the connectors, I don't have to pass the client ID, secret, and other things again and again. I can reuse that connector in one flow or more than one flow, and saves me time. And that's where I define this as the best option to use the connectors with the batch option. Let me jump back to the demo, to the slides. So that was the demo. Now we will just recap here. So we have to create the Azure AD App, set the graph permissions, whether admin or delegate. Then we create the connectors and find out the REST endpoints we will need. And then you have to just extend flow to use that connector and write your application logic. Now, what next you can do is from here is there is a Microsoft Flow tutorial, pretty much the same what I was doing, more in detail, and you can look upon that. There are a few more sessions on the teams and the graph and the security side. So, and you will see the flow and graph security also being used together. So, so it's not just about the business process. The flow has the direct endpoints for the security as well, which are in the graph. So you can automate your security monitoring also using the flow. They will have some demos ready, I'm pretty sure. The next, let's talk about if you have any other question, and like I have just a medal over there for your patience and listening to me. Thanks a lot for that. Please complete your evaluations. We need your feedback. If you have anything, feel free to share with me. Thank you.